If you've been following the upcoming game Phoenix Point at all, you'll no doubt be aware of the similarities to XCOM. You need only look at the game for about 10 seconds, and those inspirations become apparent. The game is a turn-based tactics game about fighting an alien invasion. Its aesthetic, its UI, how it ends turns, campaign, all of that, it's just straight XCOM. Now, the interesting thing is that the lead designer of Phoenix Point was the co-creator of the original XCOM, so in fairness, he was there first. But even so, the similarities to the modern Firaxis XCOM games are striking. So this video will introduce 5 new features that are in Phoenix Point that are not in XCOM. Number 1, the biggest and most complicated feature, free aiming. Now you know how in XCOM 1 you're standing one tile away from the enemy, point blank range, and you have an 85% chance of hitting, and every now and then your soldier misses from point blank range and you get frustrated. The lol emote appears and everyone says, well, that's just XCOM for you. Well, it's not in Phoenix Point. In Phoenix Point, attacks are not calculated on hard percentage chances. You can take over a soldier in first person and manually aim their gun at a target, so you can be sure of where your shots are going. Shots are 100% guaranteed to hit inside of a red circle, and then they're 50% guaranteed to hit inside of a smaller orange circle, but they will 100% always hit inside the red. I thought at first this would make the game really easy, but because of real world cover and positioning, it actually works really well. This type of calculation is done whether or not you manually aim, so technically you don't have to do it, but if you don't manually aim, it will always target the center of the enemy. Manually aiming allows you to kind of raise that aim up a bit and roll the dice on a headshot or a specific limb target. It also allows you to target cover in the hopes of just destroying the cover and not even attacking anybody. Now if an enemy is in cover or has other stats affecting them, that'll affect the damage they take. A hit doesn't guarantee certain damage. It instead displays possible damage and likely damage. Possible being the best you could possibly do, and likely being the expected amount you'll probably do. This targeting system feels akin to something like a VATS in Fallout. You can target specific limbs and equipment to whittle down your foe. For instance, with an armor-piercing weapon, you might want to concentrate your shots on a shield or heavier armor. If you're against a big target, you might want to focus on a particular limb to immobilize them or cut down their firepower. The removal of hard percentage chances on actions is a massive departure from XCOM. The dice roll is certainly part of the fun, so more time will be needed from me to really be able to tell which system is more engaging and fun. They're certainly very different. Number 2, inventory and loot. Each soldier in Phoenix Point has their own inventory. They can carry and fire any weapon regardless of their class, but obviously they have bonuses to firing weapons that suit them. Around the map there are randomly placed crates that contain weapons, grenades, medical supplies, and ammo. It costs a certain amount of action points to transfer items, but this allows for a pretty flexible system where one soldier can run out, grab something, and bring it back to everyone else. Enemies also have equipment that you can pick up and use, though it's currently not correctly implemented in the backer build. I'm hoping they tie this into the technologies of the campaign, where if you have the technology, you can pick up and fire an alien weapon. An inventory system is pretty nice because of the flexibility it gives you. It harkens back to the old XCOM days. The sniper class doesn't have many movement points, for instance, so when they ran out of ammo, I used a character with a jump jet to do a few jumps to get the item and bring back more ammo without losing his cover advantage. Number 3, willpower. Each character has a willpower stat that is basically akin to morale. Suffering wounds or nearby deaths will cause willpower to go down. Opening crates, recovering from a turn, and reaching strategic locations like watchtowers and control rooms will increase willpower. Now if willpower goes below 0, the unit will panic and move to safety. And you can also spend willpower to do certain abilities like Overwatch and class specific attacks. So basically, just like in XCOM, the way people may panic, now it's tracked with a visible amount of points that you can earn or spend. It's not really a random kind of thing. Having high willpower means you can get better use of abilities. Having low willpower means you might lose control of that person. Number 4, boss-like creatures. Phoenix Point introduces large monstrous creatures. They take up multiple tiles and have a huge amount of armor and health, and these act sort of like big boss battles. The current boss in the backer build is the Crab Queen. She can destroy buildings just by walking through them essentially, and has a big pincer attack. Now in future, the Crab Queen will spawn minions, abduct soldiers, and emit deadly mist, so it'll be a much more dangerous threat that needs to be handled even faster. The boss is a really great challenge added to a level, especially combined with inventory and ammo. You might be hard pressed to have anything left when a boss enters the map, so you'll need to scavenge equipment and hopefully have held off with your best abilities in order to fire back. Number 5 is vehicles. In backer build number 2, we have an APC type transport vehicle with a machine gun on top. It takes up multiple spaces on the grid and it can be piloted by one of your soldiers. You need that soldier to run up behind it and enter the vehicle to use it. So there is a small trade-off because it takes your soldier out of the field. Now you can move it and leave it any time and any other soldier can hop in. This is great for creating cover or just rotating soldiers that may be injured. Now with the vehicle itself, you can ram with it or use its machine gun. This is a really great feature and it complements the large boss type creatures really well. Not only do they have something big, but so do you. An interesting tidbit about this is that it got added because of one of their stretch goals on Fig, so congratulations to the community getting this in. I think it's a vital thing that needs to be in the game. And that's it for the 5 biggest new features in Phoenix Point over XCOM. The games are still extremely similar in how they play, and Phoenix Point has a year of development to go. We haven't seen too much about the campaign just yet. I think they've got an extremely solid foundation so far, but I would hope now that they try to introduce more and more of their own features. And honestly, I think they should just change the UI. It's really weird that it looks 90% the same as a modern XCOM game. I'll drop a link to their Fig campaign. Their campaign is over, but there's tons of screenshots and information in there, and it's pretty interesting to see how the game has developed so far. And you can always go to their site to purchase this early access backer build. There's some random map generation, so you can get a few goes out of it now if you wanted to help support them. So let me know what you think about Phoenix Point. The game will be on Steam and GOG in summer of 2019. Let me know what you think of it, and if you think it looks like something that you'd be interested in. It's pretty far out right now though. If you leave a like on this video, then of course you're saving a puppy, so why wouldn't you? Also, a quick aside, I'm doing an AMA for the end of the month. If you have a question, check the top comment of this video and reply there, or follow the link. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.